Hey, how's it going, everybody? We have officially gotten through all of Wildcard, 4 days of nonstop action and a day off yesterday, meaning that we are officially getting ready to get into the next stage of the RLCS World Championships. For those that do not know, I did an all comprehensive breakdown on Sunday, but this is going to be specific for two things. In this video, we're going to go over specifically the group stage, what that means, what 16 teams are, how they got there, all the specific details, and I'm also going to predict who I think is going to win very, very quickly, because ultimately, I don't know. So with that said, breaking down the group stage, what to expect, what it is, how it's come to be, all that kind of stuff. So over the last 4 days of the RLCS, 5 if you include the day off, we had 16 teams ranked from 9th to 24th compete in a wildcard stage, Swiss stage format, trying to see how we could cut those teams in half. The teams that were got 3 wins and the teams that got 3 losses, whether they progress or end up going home, cuts the teams in half. They are then joined by 8 teams that have already made it due to their performances throughout the entire year at international events. Those world's region spots are what you can pay attention to, where it has EU1, NA1, NA2, EU2, MENA, NA3, EU3, and SAM1 are also the seeds based upon what group they will be playing in and what the performances are for all those different rosters. The teams and their results, and I guess the best way to show you guys this is visually, if I pull you guys over to the other screen, as you can see here. So, K-Corp, Semper, V1, Dignitas, Renegades, Club, Optic, and Space Station, based upon their game differentials and all of that kind of stuff, is going to determine how this plays out. Candidly, right now, it is Space Station and Pioneers in Game 7, but I got to get ready to pack and get on a flight and stuff. I am assuming Space Station wins, but you can interchange Space Station and Pioneers between these two things. If Pioneers ends up beating Space Station in 7, we don't know right now. Arsenal is feeling under the weather, and I wish him the best. Then he will progress through. But on the other side of things, Space Station with their game differential could jump ahead of Optic and play a different result in the group stage. It's basically giving you the ability to dodge Moist in the first round, which is pretty scary. So the teams to pay attention to are these. These are your 1, 2, 3, 4. These are your 8 seeds that automatically are given a spot in the top 16. So if we take a look at the main event, this is what the broadcast shows, or the bracket shows. You have your 1 seed on both sides, your 2 seed, your 3 seed, and it goes so on and so forth. And the teams then from the wild card end up progressing in based upon their results that I had in the Swiss results. Based upon how they perform here determines on how they play over here. What this is going to then be is a straight up double elimination bracket. You lose, you drop to the lower bracket, and you're trying to be one of the teams that gets 2 victories, whether it be in the upper bracket or the lower bracket. All you are trying to do is avoid losing 2 times. So if you lose once, lose again, you go home. If you lose once, win 2, you then end up qualifying. But we are trying to cut all of our teams in half to then give us the final playoff bracket, which I will break down and do predictions on Championship Sunday. So with that said, it is pretty straightforward in my opinion. They're all best of 7s, 2 groups of 8, 16 teams. At the end of the day, we're trying to get 4 from each group and progress forward. Double elimination is very easy to understand, and is also a very good way after a Swiss stage to make sure the best teams are progressing forward. I don't like it as the end deciding bracket, but I do really like it in a group stage format. So, all right, we're back after a little bit of a pause here. Arsenal, you are a different beast. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll talk about it in my recap video, which actually I think comes out yesterday. So, Arsenal, unbelievable stuff. Just finished watching that. Prediction time, though. We've got Group A and Group B all decided. We're going to enhance on this and focus in on Group A. This will actually be going down on every other day. It's kind of weird how it works out, but they'll end up doing 4 matches for 1, 4 matches for B, 4 matches for A, 4 matches for B, and they'll go back and forth until they figure these all out. This will go down all the way from the 9th, which is when you guys are watching this, all the way until Saturday, which is the 13th. There is 5 days of groups to get through a ton of matches. I think it's what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 20 matches, 5 days, 4 days, or 4 games a day. Math checks out, so we're good there. But they'll start with Group A, then do Group B, and then they'll do A lower, B lowers, and they'll go back and forth. So Group A only has 1 day off, while Group B has 2 days off, and then they run it. So keep that in mind. Going in with Group A, though, with predictions, we're going to do our best to go all the way through this. And this is going to throw some people off guard. but I'm actually going with Space Station. If Arsenal and Space Station can qualify, they played more qualifying teams, like teams that made top 16 from wildcard. They played more teams than anybody else, and they have, for some reason, despite Arsenal being sick, still managed to clutch up and play extremely well, which is kind of insane to me. And if Arsenal is feeling better when the time hits, why not give them a victory? Why not? Semper also has beaten Space Station. Therefore, they're automatically guaranteed to find their way into the grand finals. That's just how it works. If you beat Space Station, you win. Jokes aside, I do think Semper is playing quite phenomenal right now. Super consistent, really clean on the field. I will say Endpoint does have a very good track record against them, and will say that playstyle-wise, I could see this actually going the other way. But I think, actually, yeah, what am I doing? I'm going to give it to Endpoint. Jokes aside, I don't think that beating Space Station guarantees you a spot in the grand finals, even though majors have shown that. But I do think Endpoint is going to play against a really good Semper team and give them their first loss, because Semper does look incredible. I think Endpoint playstyle-wise, though, does match up very good against Semper. With that said, we're going to jump down to BDS Renegades. I think BDS and NRG are both kind of a question mark. We're not really exactly sure what we're going to get out of them. But I do expect BDS to perform better than we've seen in the past, and will give them the victory over Renegades. While Renegades is playing good, I do think they get outclassed by BDS. There is still a ton of potential for an upset here. Who the heck knows? As for V1 and Energy, I am going to give it to V1. Finally starting to look like themselves. I will say, candidly, they looked pretty rough during Wildcard. I was not happy with their results. But we finally got a glimpse of what they are capable of again in their last series against the club. Game 5, they finally started to put things together. Weren't forcing things. Looked a lot more confident in their play. They settled into the game of Rocket League finally for the first time all weekend. And you're going up against Energy that's been struggling. I don't foresee Energy against a familiar opponent in favor of V1 winning, but it will be a fight. Energy is not a team I will ever not take seriously, and that's why I have it going to 7, but I do think this will be a fun one. V1 should be able to bump them out. Dropping down to lowers, I do think Moist never concedes that lower bracket to Semper, and they will win 4-2. As for Energy and Renegades, I'm going to give it to Energy. I think Energy is going to be able to bounce back just because it's what my storyline wants to be, and I'll tell you guys what that is in just a bit here. So that is what I have. The only downfall is we can't see Energy and BDS play each other unless they do it in the grand finals, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it's semifinals of the playoffs. I forget how the bracket works out, but I do think Energy is going to beat Renegades there. I do think they are the better team overall. And even still, if they're playing a close series against V1, probably performing quite well. The upper bracket, Space Station versus Endpoint. I do think Space Station takes that. It'll be a relatively close game, but I'm going to give it 4-2. And V1 BDS, I don't know what version of BDS we're getting, but I do think V1 has a very good play style to beat BDS. Should give us another nail biter. I do think BDS can actually win this without a doubt. We then get Moist versus BDS, which is a matchup I really want. Energy versus Endpoint. I do think winnable by Energy, but Endpoint historically, I think, has been playing better lately. And I don't... Oh, do I really think that Energy... I might actually think Energy can win that. No, I got to go with Endpoint. I think it'll be a nail biter. I think Endpoint wins it. Archie's been looking really, really good with them. Playstyle-wise, they've been adjusting really well. Playstyle-wise, I think their ability to counter and stuff against Energy, I think will enable Energy a little bit. It just depends on the demo game. If Energy leans more into the demo game, which they have been in scrims from what I've been seeing, as well as practice, it could lead to beneficial things. It's so tough without seeing them. Again, it's so difficult for me to predict these without seeing any of these group stage teams versus the other teams that we have seen. And I'm not trying to be too biased towards that, but I do think Endpoint right now is better than Energy. As for Moist BDS, Moist Game 7 clutch. It's what they do, and they're going to do it. BDS is going to change their roster at the end of the season. That's my early prediction. As for here, I think G2 has a field day with Optic, although Optic has been playing better. I do not expect G2 to have the same results they had last time. Furia K-Corp is a very tough match. We'll say it goes to 7. I'll figure out after. I think FaZe beats the Club, although Club may catch FaZe off in early rounds. I think long-term FaZe and their mechanics will beat out. And Falcons Dignitas, that's a throwback. We'll go with Falcons. I think Falcons is really, really good. And against Dignitas seems like they're hitting their stride. They looked good. Most of my predictions I got wrong because Dignitas proved me wrong. So credit to them. Loving what they're doing. Furia K-Corp, man. Ooh, that's so tough. I mean, K-Corp's looking really good. They beat 0-1, Renegades, and Optic, all matches that I don't think they've really been tested in. I'm going to go with Furia. I'm going to give it with Furia. I think K-Corp's really, really good. The only downfall with that is while K-Corp has looked stellar on offense, there's a lot of times where I think they do make some mistakes here and there. And they haven't really been tested yet, I will say. And I think Furia is going to be able to match them in their pace. This one could go either way. Last time, I think it went in favor of K-Corp. I'm pretty sure. So maybe a little bit of revenge. We'll see how that goes. I do have K-Corp smacking Optic pretty good. Optic will put up a little bit better fight, but K-Corp is built for them. Club Dignitas. Dignitas, I don't think struggles that difficult and should win there. G2 Furia. This, to me, is a coin toss. Depends on what we get out of G2. FaZe Falcons, I actually will give to Falcons in 7. And G2 Furia. Oh, no, I gotta go play Dignitas too. Ooh, that's spicy. I think if Furia drops down, they win. If G2 drops down, I think it's a... Oh, I don't know. Oh, that's so tough. God, I love the World Championship. These matches are going to be really good. The 9 to 12 matches are going to be absolutely incredible to see who ends up making top 8. Oh, man. And the fact that there's only 4 matches a day, too, means we get to watch all of them intently. Oh, I love that. I got to go with G2. I think G2 is like a surefire, like, favorites. Like, one of the favorites for me to win the whole thing. Furia, I think, will struggle a little bit. K-Corp FaZe. I did not make this easier on myself, did I? Gosh. Let's check out some spring major results. It wasn't that long ago. FaZe lost to Furia. FaZe K-Corp. That's a coin toss. Let's make it go to 7. I don't have many sweeps and stuff. At this stage, I think the best teams are going to be playing at their best. I don't think there's any excuses. I want Mina in, so I'm going to do that. And then I'll probably do this, which would give us an insane playoff bracket. Moist Falcons. Wow. A recreation of the world champion or the last major. G2 endpoint. G2 should probably win that. But I'm saving my... Oh, we get a rematch of V1. Yeah, this is perfect. This is literally perfect. Space Station... These matchups are literally perfect. I didn't even plan for this to happen. But if this happens, I think we have a phenomenal bracket ready to go. That is what I've got. But those predictions will not come until Sunday. And if you want to make sure you don't miss out on those, consider hitting like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, as it helps me out greatly. But again, if you guys do have any additional questions, links to everything I'm talking about, brackets, all that kind of stuff. The cool thing about the Liquipedia page is they do have different tabs for every different stage. So if you go to Liquipedia, it's at the very top. You can click on the World Championship, and then they have qualifications, wildcard, group stage, playoff stage, every single thing step by step, all broken down, which is absolutely phenomenal. So shouts to Liquipedia and the things they do. So with that said, I am recording this video from home, but as of tomorrow, which is going to be Monday, I will be flying to Dallas. I will be doing things from home. I'm bringing my DSLR camera. I've got a tripod. I'm going to try to make it as good as sound and everything as possible. I'll have a lavalier mic, and hopefully we get some good video and quality for recaps and all that kind of stuff. There's other things you guys would like me to do while I'm there. I will be doing vlogging. I will be recording and showing you guys behind the scenes stuff, trying to do press again. I will try to do interviews with certain people. I'll try to sit down and talk with players and stuff and do what I can for those. But recap videos on the daily, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you guys subscribe. Don't miss out on that. Predictions for Championship Sunday, I will post Sunday morning, so you can watch those. I will tell you, and I'm not going to spoil the results, but I'm very, very happy with my results. I have been doing a video with Halfway Dead. If you guys don't know him, he's behind the Rocket Science page. I did a predictions for just Wildcard because I knew I would be at home. And I'm very, very proud of my predictions because I'm predicting game to game. I'm watching every single series and pretty happy with that. So I'm not going to spoil those results of what my actual predictions are for Wildcard, but very happy with them. And I'll let you guys see how that goes in his video in the future. So I'm going to tease that a little bit, but that is going to do it for me. Appreciate you guys all taking the time to tune in and watch, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Oh, last but not least, if you guys see me in Dallas/Texas/Fort Worth, please come say hi, come ask for photos, pictures, anything. If you need me to sign anything, do not be a stranger. If I look busy, don't worry about it. Come up to me, approach me, ask. Let me be the bad person that says, hey, give me 1 second. And then after I'm done with the thing, then we will do it. So greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you all so much for the support. Thank you for continuing to let me do what I do and do what I love. And we will see you in Texas. Peace.